Hello everybody, this is Marcel from Oregon, coming to you with another episode of And That's How I See It. Today's episode is going to be kind of controversial. It's going to be a let's talk about ISIS and Christians. Now, I want to make this video because I'm tired of people lumping people into one group. The actions of one do not equate the actions of the majority. And I want to make it perfectly clear from Jump Street. I do not believe in what ISIS did and is doing is right in any way. They should be hunted down and killed for what they've done. Do not forget that as you watch this video. They are extremists. They are harming innocent people. They should be put down. Period. End of discussion on that. But I am tired of the actions of those few being categorized as the actions of an entire group of people. Muslims as a whole are not bad people. There's 1.6 billion of them. We're talking about 99.999% of them are quiet, peaceful people. Now, I also wanted to be clear for the record that I am neither Muslim nor Christian, but I do believe in a God and higher power, and that's all I'm going to say about my personal beliefs. What's happening with Muslims today is that it's like the old saying, one bad apple spoils the bunch. Well, I've always thought that to be a bit erroneous, because you could take a bad apple in the bunch and you could look at it and go, it's a bad apple, and toss it, check the other apples. The other apples might be fine, 100%. But what's happening is people see that one bad apple and they just toss the whole basket. And like, they're all messed up. When that's not true. There are 1.6 billion Muslims in the world. 1.6 billion. They are not all out to get you. They're not all out to bomb buildings and all that. Like I said, peaceful people live their lives, raise their kids, go to their jobs, and they just do their thing. Muhammad Ali, Hakeem Olajuwon, people like that. Now, recently ISIS beheaded a man and burned a man alive. Again, they should be hunted down and killed for what they've done. But unlike Fox News, I will not condemn all Muslims for those actions. I just think that's stupid, and it just leads to more hatred. I want to make it clear that Christians are not clean in this. They do bad things as well, which is what the president was talking about the other day when he said, remember the Crusades, the Holocaust, and the Christians on Fox and the Christian right, went off on him. Well, he was right. He was right. And he was right, and that's why you guys got so angry. And I'm going to give you a few examples, okay? Of some bad Christians who, for some reason, did not make all Christians bad. You take in Wisconsin, August 5th, 2012, a guy named Wade Michael Page. He attacked a Sikh temple in Oak Creek, and he used a semi-automatic weapon, and he murdered 6 people. For no reason. He probably was dumb and thought they were some Muslim terrorists, and anybody with any intellect knows that the Sikhs are not Muslim. Now, you have on May 31st, 2009, Dr. George Tiller, who was shot and killed by a non-Muslim Christian terrorist named Scott Roeder. Now, this story got a few blurbs, mainly because someone died. But could you imagine if Mr. Tiller had been killed by a Muslim? Fox News would have ran that story for days and condemned all Muslims. They would have gone to mosques. They would have asked imams, hey, what's going on? Do you condemn or condone this? What's going on here? Now, there was another man who is a Christian right sympathizer. His name is Jim David Atkins. Now, he went into the Knoxville Unitarian Universal Church in Knoxville, Tennessee, during a children's play, no less, began shooting at people at random. Killed 2, 7 others were injured. He said he was motivated by the hatred of liberals, Democrats, and gays. Fox covered this one, but not around the clock. This guy was also a fan of the Turner Diaries. You need to look that up and see what that is. Now, there's another guy named Dr. John Brighton, murdered July 29th, 1994. He was murdered by a member of the Christian terror group known as Army of God. And its member Paul Jennings Hill shot and killed the doctor and his bodyguard named James Barrett. Shot him in cold blood. You know, and like ISIS, like the members of ISIS, showed no remorse for his crimes. And like ISIS, he said he was doing God's work, and the army of God made him a martyr because he was executed for his crimes. Anybody remember Eric Rudolph, the man that bombed Central Olympic Park on July 27, 1996? Yeah, I do. He's been praised by the army of God for that and many other Christian faith-based attacks. He killed one person, injured 111 that day. Now, Rudolph also bombed an abortion clinic in Alabama, and in doing that, he killed a police officer named Robert Sanderson and caused a nurse named Emily Lyons to lose an eye. He also bombed a lesbian bar named the Otherwise Lounge in 1997. He's serving life in prison. Army of God to this day praises him as a brave Christian doing God's work. ISIS, Christians' Army of God. Sounding similar or almost the same, don't you think? Don't you? Really? You have to think that they're starting to sound alike. Last example, biggest one. Timothy McVeigh and his bombing in Oklahoma City, April 19th, 1995. He was influenced profoundly by a movement called Christian Identity and the Turner Diaries. Look him up. Now, he's the one that elicits the most controversy, in the sense that when you bring him up, he killed 168 people. When you bring him up, Christians say that he was a red herring. He's not real Christian. He doesn't exemplify, Christian values. Of course he doesn't. Anybody with any brain knows that. But because he's Christian, the religion as a whole gets a pass, and some people don't like that, and the Christians don't like it when you try to use him in the same way that the mainstream media uses ISIS to implicate all Muslims or all Christians. Now, he was a homegrown terrorist. He killed more Americans on American soil than ISIS ever will. ISIS ain't never coming here. Let's just be real. It's not going to happen. But some people, again, to reiterate, will say that he's not representative of the true threat to America because he's not Arab nor is he Muslim. The point of this is for people to think before they label and lump all people into one category of evil, because as the old saying goes, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. And that's how I see it. Have a nice day.